Good afternoon. How's everybody doing? I'm bringing you my live this week. I want to talk about purpose again, but before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about our Facebook challenge that we're having right now, the ULA Challenge for Christians. It's going well. We're in our 10th day. I had intended to come to you Monday, but Monday and Tuesday I wasn't feeling 100%, so I didn't try to come on here and do anything. It probably wouldn't have gone well. But anyway, our Facebook challenge is going well. This week we're talking about blockers. I urge you to get out there and look at that. If you're stuck in your life somewhere and you're not getting where you need to be, you're probably experiencing a blocker in your life. Now, just to give you an example, today's is anger is what we're talking about today. Yesterday we talked about guilt. So get out there and take a look at those every day, and don't just look at them, dive deep into it. See where you're having your issues. So today I'm going to talk a little bit more about purpose. Last week, I kind of went over what's out there in the guides. This week, I want to talk to you about how, even though I wasn't walking in my purpose back 10, 15 years ago, what I learned that helped me now. So in the job you're in now may not be your purpose. You may never actually have a job in your purpose, but you can learn from those jobs. Take everything you have and look at it and see, how can this benefit me? How can this benefit others? Because when you're walking in your purpose, you're benefiting others, just so you know. Okay, so first thing I want to talk about is walking in my purpose. I want to teach people to lead. I want to teach people to live their best life. I want to teach people how to have balance in their life. I want to mentor and serve, and that's how I walk in my purpose. Well, how did I learn all of this in my last, or actually job before last, about 10 or 15 years ago? The first thing, how to lead, I learned from good and bad managers. Okay? You know what I'm talking about. The good managers got in there and they actually led their team. I can remember one manager I had, love her to death. She's in this group. Actually, I have two of them in this group that were managers of mine. And both of them led by example. And they led their teams. They didn't get in there and micromanage. They gave you the work and they let you do the work. You were responsible for your work. They led you and taught you. They equipped us. But they did not micromanage. They were great managers. I had some bad ones. I had one that every day walked by my desk. It was crazy. We won't talk about that, but because I don't want to talk bad about anybody. But I had some really bad managers. But on the flip side of that, I also learned from being a good manager and being a poor manager. I've been both. I'm going to be perfectly honest. My first try at managing people was awful. Absolutely awful. And I could not see my failure in it until I got away from that, until I backed away and I began to see how poor of a manager I was. It was about that time I discovered personal development, started working on myself. I love what John Maxwell says about leadership. He tells us all the time, do not wait to become a leader before you lead. Okay, don't do that. You should actually be leading before you become a leader. So the position comes, or the equipping and the ability to be a leader comes before you actually get that position. So that's something to remember. That's one thing I learned on how to walk in my purpose. I was in training and development for an HR department company that I worked for, and I was able to see good training firsthand. If I hadn't have been in that job, even though that job wasn't anywhere near my purpose, I would not have learned what good training looked like. I saw great training. I saw how to interact with people when you're training. This was so important for me for now in my life. I was in the middle of event planning. So with that, I was doing project management. I was planning events. Again, I'm right now in the middle of planning an event for next month, and then another one the next month where I'll be speaking and teaching on leadership. If I had not had that experience at this company, I would have never been able to do that now. Well, let me back up. I would have been able to do it now, but it would have been rough. It would have been different. Now I can walk in that, I can step into that, and I can help with this event and add what I know is value to the event. I wouldn't have learned that and wouldn't have been there if I had not walked in this other job, which was, again, contrary to my purpose as it is now. Another thing this company afforded me was the opportunity to be in Toastmasters. If you don't know what Toastmasters is, that is a speaking club. And it teaches speaking and it teaches you leadership. Toastmasters was invaluable to me. I was able to mentor 2 different people in Toastmasters. I was able to actually mentor a club in Toastmasters. I served at the district level for clubs in Toastmasters. So again, this was something that was free. It was given to us. And it was great. It was so good. And I learned from it. And I'm applying it now as I walk in my purpose. So again, if you, Faith, hey Stephanie. So what I'm talking about is how to take what you've learned in your jobs or the job you're in now and apply it to your purpose. Okay, another thing I learned was organizational skills. I worked as an admin for a senior VP. If you're not organized, you can't do that. I helped schedule training and development in HR. Again, I had to have organizational skills. They also taught me how to use Excel, how to use Outlook, how to use Word. So these were skills, very important skills for what I'm doing now, that I learned in at this job. Again, I wasn't walking in my purpose, but it allowed me to actually be able to step out in that now. Another thing was business communication. If you can't communicate at the level, at what I'm doing now, if I can't communicate properly with executives, there's a problem there. And who would want me to come in and train their employees if my communication skills are poor? And I'm talking my written skills. And I'm a writer, but business communication is entirely different. You still have to be able to write well, but you also need to be able to communicate in a different manner. Business is more precise and to the point than actually writing, and that was something I had to learn. But I want you to take this today, and I want you to think about, hey Lisa, I want you to think about all of the skills that you've learned in your previous jobs, and how will they help you walk in your purpose? How are they going to help you with that? Again, I wouldn't have known event planning if I hadn't worked at that company. I wouldn't have known how to actually properly train. I wouldn't have known how to be a good manager versus being a bad manager, or basically being a leader while in a management position. My organizational skills, I've always been a born organizer, but my organizational skills in project management and keeping things together would not have been as well developed as they are now. My business communication skills would not have been there. Knowing how to work with top executives would not have been there. My speaking would not have been to the point it is now. And I would have missed out on that mentorship. So wherever you are right now, wherever you're working, look deep, dig deep, and see how that job and your skills on that job will benefit you in walking in your purpose. Okay, y'all, I'm going to get better at looking at the camera, the eye. This is new to me. I apologize for not looking directly at it. I love y'all. You can give me some feedback down in the bottom if you'd like to share. I would love to hear what you have figured out walking in your purpose and how that's going to help you in your your job skills now, the things you're learning now from the company you're working for, how they're going to help you walk in your purpose in the future. Thank y'all. Y'all have a blessed day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.